All right, everybody, welcome to MML Pro Season 19 Week 4 action here. We got the Georgia Goons and Orc team versus the Solar Sabers. Those teams are already hitting the field. There have been no inducements before we go in. Let me just show you the leaderboard. Nobody's played their games this week yet for this play pool. We've got the first four and the Iron League and the Orcs, the Georgia Goons, are members of the first four conference, which are paired up with the Iron League for play pool purposes this season. They are sitting in pretty much tied for third place. This play pool still looks pretty open. Solus Sabers sitting in first place going into this week, but as we all know, things can change quickly with a win or a loss, just depending how it goes. Let's take it to Cabal TV and see what the crystal ball shows us as we get to the field. Ooh, a lot of matches being played. There's the one we want. If they have already started, like moving action-wise, by the time the crystal ball focuses in, fortunately we have the power to rewind in time and show you everything at an accelerated speed until we catch up. So we will do that. But I think they just started, so we should not have missed too much of the action. All right, so it looks like turn one to start. I'm going to back them up to right before the kickoff. It's not enough. Well, right before the kickoff. All right, there we go. They're setting up. So back here we have Gorkost, very agile orc, sitting back there. He is their designated kick returner and pretty much their thrower, the guy that handles the ball for most of the time and then distributes it as necessary. So he gets a nice early jump on that ball. He's pretty skilled in seeing where it's going to land. And because of the brilliant coaching of both coaches this week, the teams are fired up and ready to make less mistakes. And just as I said that, Gorkost mishandles the ball a little bit off the bounce, kind of caught him by surprise. An uppercut knocks Snor Gredison out of the match for the time being. He is snoring on the sideline. And that was by Hammer. Or no, I'm sorry, that was Gul'dan that hit him with that. The next hit was by Hammer Toe, who was unable to knock Bercy Skalagrimmer to the ground. And the Orcs are going to waste no time with these line Norse. They're going to charge down the field and try to remove one of these nasty guard-skilled Norsemen. Ooh. So again, this is a situation where normally this could have resulted in a pretty botched block by the big black orc, Rex Bone Grinder. But because of the extra training this week, Rex, who would have normally screwed up, maybe knocked himself out, ends up knocking out another Norse lineman, and the Norse are being overwhelmed in numbers by 2 so far now. It's 11-9 on the field. The big troll unable to get the knockdown. That's Mr. Biggs. But he follows up on him, and Funbus comes up to provide the assist. Oh, there's that dangerous Yeti. Crom Dragon Gaze, and we're starting the match raw. Live and direct. The Yeti comes in, kills Subdue, but the Apothecary runs out and does his job, actually brings him back to life and gets him pretty much as good as new. He's a little shaken up over there, has no clue that he just died. But, a failed dodge here, and the extra training wasn't done on jump ropes this week, so the Norseman just falls to the ground. It's that lineman right there, Cormac Grimmer. So Grimmer seems to be a common last name. It looks like the Orcs are just tired of this Yeti. And they're marking him up. And, you got to be a little concerned for him at this point. He's about to get hit with some fire. Oh, not right away. Again, another hit that could have resulted in a nasty situation for the Orcs, but because of the extra training that Colorado's had them all on the heavy bag this week, and it ends up in a removal of yet another Viking. The Orcs starting to just overwhelm the Norse in numbers at this point, charging down the field, and they've got a pretty extensive cage system going on. With the Yeti off the field, the AV9 is in full effect. The Orcs are much less fearful, but the Norse will not be intimidated. Kelvin runs in, smacks an Orc to the ground, and he's going to hold off. He's not going to pile on. He is not going to pile on. He's figuring, you know what, that AV9 is going to hold up. And he's deciding they don't want to take the chance of that Ulf laying on the ground and getting fouled, maybe. Or just one less player to get taken advantage of. At this point, though, the Norse just, Chase is in a tough spot here. Just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 men left, 7 Norse left on the field. And the Orcs are not holding back. They go right after the Öfevenner. Kelvin is a killer. Chase likes to use him to create some havoc and instill fear in his opponents. But the Orcs are not afraid. Kelvin is knocked to the ground senseless. He has no idea what's going on around him. And what's even worse, he's now surrounded by a ton of angry-looking Orcs who don't care for his skill set. He's got to be wondering what's going to happen to him. The Orcs are just now at this point, they're just marking everybody up. The Claw is off the field. And they're not very fearful at this point. They just come with bodies on bodies and make this especially difficult for the Norse, who are overwhelmed in numbers at this point and don't have the strength and guard skills to keep up with these Orcs. If the Norse don't do something quickly, there's not going to be very much of them left on the field. And here comes Far Cry. He's going to put the hit on the Berserker Galt. He's going to knock him to the ground. It is not enough, and I bet the pylon is coming. Yes, it is. There we go. Well, look at that. Galt takes a face full of Orc ass and still stays awake and conscious. Kudos to him. I don't know what kind of night lifestyle he's leading, but it's definitely prepared him for the worst, it looks like. The Orcs got their men tight together in a formation that lets them support each other. Chase, one of the better coaches in the MML. And I have confidence that if you can think of a way, if anyone can think of a way to do something about this, it'll be Chase. He's very skilled with Norse. He knows his players very well. It's really good positioning. But, you know, there's only so much a coach can do. You know, he's armed with a clipboard. He's got to rely on his players to execute. And it looks like they're going to pick their target. There you go. Hammer Toe is in danger. Here comes Matter Magnus Isaac, who is able to knock him to the ground, but that AV9 holding tight. That Orc armor is dangerous. And Chase ain't messing around. Oh, a block into a red die block, and somehow this works out. Galt stays on his feet. Galt fighting extremely hard. I'm surprised, almost a little surprised that Chase allowed him to push himself into a frenzy trap, but it didn't end up being fatal at this point. We will see how the next turn plays out. That's Han Yolo, the star runner on the Norse, who was actually used to play for me in my the Norse Awakens farm team. And he's been doing big things for Chase now. Switch to the BB2 camera so you can see all the fine action a little better. Ooh. This is one of those frustrating things where I think Colorado wanted to chain push, and Galt said, I will not be pushed around. And now, this is a bit of a tough situation here. They're unable to push Galt back. He's just a rock, man. He is fighting. He's leading this team, putting it on his back, mounting a one-man resistance. See what happens next. All sides are tense. The Orcs trying to figure out the best way to continue to protect the ball.
That's a solid formation. I want to see the opposing team have a go at the ball.
And the Orcs are not going to shy away from a battle. They're just going to throw more people and try to overwhelm these Norse with their numbers. They will not be bullied. It looks like they have not used their blitz yet, so they're still going to be able to hit at least one more person. One more Solus saver this turn. Then it may just be a matter of locking up the rest of them. Successful hit from Gul'dan, but does not result in a removal, just knocks Scalabera to the ground. Scalabera, a long-standing member of the Solus Sabers, has built up some good skills over his time. And Gul'dan does not press his luck over there. Continues to come in and provide assists. Oh, Fum is going to come over and he's going to hit. Is that Mad Magnus or that's Kelvin? And Kelvin catches an injury. Ouch. That is an Ulf skilled in piling on, and he is gone for the rest of the game. Chase can't be happy about that. But the Orcs were not taking any chances with him sitting right there in contact with the ball carrier. They did not want to mess around with that. Especially not with this guy right here, Cormagrimmer, being able to dodge out and possibly get a hit on the ball carrier if that didn't work out for him. Now the Norse are pissed. They did not like their Ulfaverner being abused that way and stomped on while the ref couldn't even see what was happening, though. It looks like the ref, just a crowd of Orcs sitting around him, so the ref couldn't even tell that Kelvin got the boot. There's a frenzied attack from Galt, who continues to just punch valiantly, but he's unable to injure the Orc he went after. Just knocks him to the ground, and that's Hammer Toe. Blitz is unsuccessful as Scalabera comes in and puts a body on Far Cry Jr. And then Han Yolo's going to come over here and seal the edge, so that the Orcs don't just form a side cage, skirt up that way. Chase maximizing the ground that his few men left on the field can cover, but they are mounting a valiant effort on defense despite being down in numbers and having received pretty much a hell of a beating so far. Ooh, Far Cry tries to play punch face with Galt, but again, Galt stands up to the assault. He will not be denied. This perplexes the Orcs a little bit. You see, they're kind of recalibrating. They wanted to push Galt away. They wanted to hurt him. They weren't able to do it with the guy that they originally intended, but now they're going to try to chain push by going after Scalabera. They're going to push Mad Magnus Isaac away. Scalavera getting knocked senseless. His helmet actually on backwards at this point. It's spun around. It's covering his eyes. It looks like he is out of commission, just laying on the ground. I don't think he's knocked out because he's still kind of, scampering around, moving around there. He may be stunned, seeing some stars. This has opened up a lot of possibilities for the Orcs on that left side of the pitch, and that's what they're doing right now. So Gul'dan moves back over. It looks like the Orcs are intending to seal that left side. This is starting to look like a walk-in touchdown for Gorkost. And the Vikings may not have a lot of opportunity to stop this. But the Norse may not be the fastest of people, but they've got a couple of pretty fast players. So I'm not sure that Gorkost is as safe as he thinks he is. Look at that. Fum is not just all about the fouling. He can block too, and he is able to finally fell the mighty Gost. And I spoke too soon. Gost dodges the punch, allows himself to be pushed back. Clever veteran he is. And now the ball carrier could actually be in trouble. Opening punch from Ram Man. He's going to frenzy move Far Cry. He is unable to fell him, but Far Cry may be leaving the pitch, and he's getting kicked into the stands where the crowd gets a hold of him, and those Norse fans are fierce. They knock Far Cry out. Armor 9, or his armor is 8. They say armor 8 can eat a dick, and there goes Mad Magnus Isaac. He's going to throw a punch at Rekka Bone Grinder, knock him to the ground like he's a flower. Just trample all over him like he's a flower. Better said, sit back to a safety position. I'm wondering if Gorkost can even... Nope, Gorkost can't score on this next turn. So, wow. So he decides not to... He leaves Galt where he is. Okay, I see why. Galt and Crane Dullison creating an obstacle for the rest of this little group of 4 Orcs are kind of just locked over here. Between YOLO, Galt, and Dullison. And that Troll's going to run over there. Try to provide a better cage here for Gorkost or some protection. But this is a guy, Mad Magnus, you got to worry about him. He can cover a lot of ground. He can break tackles and blocks. And he is a threat to the ball carrier. Great positioning on the part of Colorado there, as it looks like he may be just out of reach. Yeah, he is positioned very well. Oof, another armor break. What armor? These guys are wearing mankinis. That was a nasty flying forearm from Far Cry Jr. And the Orc's going to try to solidify this protection over here. Just 2 turns to go for the Orcs. They have done a good job of slowly grinding upfield, forcing the Norse to try to slow them up as much as they can, but finding themselves trampled in the process. And then, after all that, it might be for naught. And you know what? Mad Magnus Isaac says, and screw that. You want to throw all your guys over there and protect yourself? We're going to wreck these dudes over here. But they're not. That armor 9 is holding up. The Orcs are going to do what the Orcs are going to do. And it looks like they're loading up on Rekka Bone Grinder. Nope. And they're just going to threaten the foul, but not actually do it. And man, Chase has kind of left Matter Magnus in a position where he could be receiving the revenge of the Orcs. This game is moving, man. I mean, the action is just every move. It's just action-packed. It's happening fast. These guys ain't playing around. They got a game plan. They're executing it, and that's it. I mean, Yeah, the Norse are pretty limited in what they can do, but you got to give it to Chase. I mean, he's making the best of a bad situation, and it looks like at this point they're just trying to maybe get some numbers, close the attrition gap. They've managed to remove only one orc at this point, but we'll see if it's enough. Uh-oh. And this is the problem. When you do this, when you just say, here you go, have the touchdown, we're going to have this fight over here, that enables the orcs to then just put 3 men over here and send the rest of the kill squad out for you guys. This is a problem. It could end up backfiring on Chase, where he thought, oh, okay, we're just going to play punch face with the orcs over here. He could lose on both fronts. These orcs can come over here, have this attrition battle, and then end up removing more Norse while keeping more of themselves on the field. And scoring. What's it gonna be? Colorado just going through his clipboard, trying to figure out what play he wants to call next. Fum still hasn't moved. He's looking over to his coach for instructions, and so is Ram. Fum and Ram looking for instructions. There goes Fum. He's going to come over and add an extra body. And, we forgot about the blitz. At least I did. And Ram is going to come in hard. And there's the issue. There's the other Ulf getting hit with that mighty blow. Matter Magnus is going to be hitting the ground. Oh, and he will eventually get back up. But for the next couple of turns, he's going to be stunned. And that's good for Colorado. He's happy with the way things turned out. Galt is not, though, and he's going to hit Rekka Bone Grinder with that magic. Oh, nice left hook. Rekka Bone Grinder is going to hit the ground. A mighty blow is an issue. Now Scalabera looking for his next opportunity. And here comes the blitz. Ooh. Hammer Toe cannot be felled. He's not felled by Ram, and I'm actually surprised he didn't re-roll that. The extra training could have been a factor, but I guess he's saving the re-roll. He really wants Scalabera to get that hit on Ram. And a little chain push. Oh, the AV9 again holds up. Ram is going to get up, and now he's going to have a body on 3 Norsemen. All of whom have guard, though. But the orcs ain't playing around with that. They're just going to score. Not going to risk that would have had to be quad skull at that point, but. Got some Colorado. Why don't you take those extra hits? He says, because I'm just about that action, boss. By action, I mean scoring touchdowns. Oh, so that orc that was, I think that was Far Cry that got knocked out by the crowd is going to stay down, and only one of the 3 Norse are going to return for the bottom of turn 8. But we're going to have another go. We're going to give him another chance to get up. I bet Chase definitely rooting for that Yeti to get up. As the side set up, I'm trying to use Mordrek's Goblin Spy program here at mordrek.com/Goblin Spy. I think that's a good landing page, but it is definitely at mordrek.com. The program's called Goblin Spy, and it lists a bunch of stats for the different leagues. I'm trying to see if there's a way here. Queries. See if I could find any. This doesn't really. Yeah, I'm looking for if there's any top statistical leaders that are on the field right now. I mean, for this season so far, I'm not an expert with it. This Goblin Spy program is great. There's a lot of people that know how to use it really, really well. But let's see, top lists. There's a top list query, but that's just for the F4 IL. I'd like it for the entire MML. See if there's a way to do that. you can get stuff like that. You can do a top list, but it looks like it's limited to the play pool. You can't do it by an entire league. I bet you can. I just don't know how to do it. So let's see here. We'll start with like, we just take a look at some of the stats out of this play pool. Crom Dromgaze has, how do you get 1.33 casualties? Is this per game? Oh, it's per game. There you go. That's why. He's got more than a casualty a game. We're just going to go to total here. All right, 4 casualties in 3 games. That's Crom Dragon Gaze from the Solus Sabres. And I have to think that's probably their Yeti. That's right. I got the little goblin in the house has awoken. And she is actively looking at the game and commenting as well. She's pointing at Crom Dragon Gaze. She likes the Yeti. It's furry, lovable, like a little teddy bear plush toy. And as the ball is kicked off, the Norse crowd is just, man, they're hitting harder. The Norse crowd is hitting harder than any of the Norse players today. And Gul'dan is badly hurt by a rock that's launched from the audience. He is gone. We're not going to see him for the rest of the game. And, oops. So a reroll was thrown. Was that by accident? Because that was a bolt down and then also a. Oh, he's trying to one turn? That's what he's trying to do. That's why. Okay, he was trying to one turn. And you know, doesn't that just go the way like when you don't want the pals and the stuff that fells you, that's when they give it to you. So he's going for the one turn. It did not work out, and they're just going to play a little punchy, but the Armor 9 holds up again, man. What they need to do is recruit some more journeymen because this crowd is ferocious. Oh, they're going to line up for the T8 foul. And there it goes. Fum is knocked out. They're going to give it to the dirty player. That is ironic. They foul the dirty player out. He is knocked out, and the big question is whether he will return for the second half. And will the Yeti come back? Because, again, Dragon Gaze has caused 4 casualties in the last 3 matches, in the first 3 matches of the season. He is definitely the most violent player on the field, and he does not come back. Crom is going to stay down. Chase is looking over at him like he is angry. The absence of that Yeti is a huge problem. Man, the second most, well, tied for second most violent. No, definitely the second most violent player on this field was Kelvin, the Ulfrarunner for the Norse, and he's off the field as well. So they're 2 top. Oh wait, maybe he's not. Did he come back? There's Matter Magnus, but I remember Kelvin was. There's the Yeti. Oh, that is Kelvin. All right, I thought that was a regular endorsement. Yeah, so Kelvin gone, Crom Dragon Gaze gone. Those are the 2 scariest guys for the Norse this season in terms of results. But you know, the one guy that's really just been playing like a madman, just picking up the slack. Where is he at? It's this dude right here, Galt. That Berserker, he is playing like what he's called, a Berserker, madman. He's on this field, causing ruckus. And we're going to switch to view. We're going to take it from the north side right now. We were on the home cam, but this is the away cam because they have the ball now. Let me see if I can find some more interesting stats here using Goblin Spy by Mordric.com. See if there's any other leaders we should be aware of. Han Yolo has completed 2 passes in his first 3 games. Gorkos, the thrower for the Georgia Goons, has also completed 2 passes. So both of these quarterbacks, tied for second in their play pool for most passes. Let's see if one of them gets ahead. And as the ball is launched, this time the Orc crowd is pissed, and they're going to hit Korkagrimmer with a rock. Said they don't injure him for the rest of the game, but they definitely knock him out. And if the Orcs have it their way, the Norse will not have another chance to allow these knockouts to come back. I'm sure they do not want to see that Yeti do some damage. All right, so Hammer Toe taking a strike from Scalamera. They are unable to knock him down, and because he is a freaking rock, he stands firm, stands in place, but Matter Magnus Isaac killed him! He is dead! There will be no apothecary! The Georgia Goons have lost a guy that's put in a lot of work for them. Ouch! Hammer Toe, already a guy that has been injured a couple of times and taken some hits, and that's the final one. The Norse will not be bullied! Ram Man comes down and knocks the big troll to the ground. We've got a David and Goliath situation going on, ladies and gentlemen, but Galt unable to come through. That's all right, because there's still a blitz on the table, and we're going to see Overvig come through and knock Funbus, formerly, I believe, of the Green Tide Titans, down. Funbus wisely does not stand firm, allows himself to be knocked back towards his teammates, because you can best believe a foul was incoming if he stayed where he was. The ball still sitting right there, YOLO eyeing it. Han YOLO gonna run up, pick up the ball effortlessly, jump into an easy now cage, and not a bad turn 9 for the Norse. How will the Orcs respond now? These numbers are a little better for the Norse than what we originally thought. We've got basically 9 players total on the field for the Orcs, 1 on the ground stunned, and we've got 8 players for the Norse. So at least for the rest of turn 9, we're going to see even numbers. If these Orcs don't watch out, this game could easily turn around on them. How will Colorado handle this? Team digging in. They're looking over to their coach for leadership. Colorado furiously working through his clipboard, trying to figure out what to do here. And there you go. The Orcs going to move up. They're not going to do the old let's mark everybody up technique. They're going to form a defensive front and get around their troll. And they're going to allow the Norse to try to bring the action to them. But first, probably going to see Far Cry go after this dude right here. And this guy's going to sweep around and try to knock him back toward the Orcs. Maybe to allow Fum to get in there. And is Fum still on the field? Did he come back for the knockout? Yeah, he did. Oh, armor broken. The Mankini is not enough. But Snore, Redison is snoring just for now. He will be up in another couple of turns. Position back toward the rest of the Orcs. Are we going to see a foul from Fum? Nah. Nope. Wisely. He wants to preserve the ability to foul someone so that it's just not worth the risk to him right now to foul this lineman, possibly get thrown out, and then just get a stun, which he already has. So it's possible he's setting him up for the next turn, for a boot the next turn. But we'll see. The Norse are not wasting time. They're swinging around. They look and they see what seems to be an opening on the right side, and they're going to lead with their Overwerner. Matter Magnus Isaac going to come in on Rekka Bone Grinder. Is going to push him back at first into kind of a one-die frenzy trap, and he can't get him down. Rekka Bone Grinder stays up for the moment, and this is really, really dangerous for Matter Magnus, because he's got 2 guard Black Orcs on him, and they're pretty angry for what happened to their teammate over here, Hammer Toe. Beers 13-13 in the stands, toasting some beers. Yes sir, have one for me. Man, I should go crack one. Damn it. Locked in this booth by myself with no support right now. I can't grab one. And there's not a lot of leading catchers right now in the only 3 games that this play pool is played. Going in the play pool, the one catch is the leader of the play pool. So Far Cry Jr. has 1 catch, Fee has 1 catch. Oh, wait, what just happened? Galt Was that Galt? No, that wasn't Galt. That was Skelagrimra. Comes in to try to seal that back of the cage. Cannot manage the extra step without falling. Gets there, though, because he did some extra wind sprints this week. But the second chances for the Norses are few and far between right now. This is trouble right here. Matter Magnus in a lot of trouble. Wondering why Gorkos went up to support when there was already, that was a 2-die block the way it was from Rekka Bone Grinder, with Funbus being, yeah, marked up by a guard piece, but, you know, his guard skill still gave Rekka. Yeah, the proper assist. Anyway, Orcs trying to wrap around, close off this little side, close off the wing that the Norse are trying to punch a hole into. And this creates a, this is a situation. YOLO can score. He's fast and he can score right from there. This is like, he's got gutter runner speed. He has been known to race gutter runners. Oh, look at that. Subdue comes in, and even with his pro skills, unable to knock down Dullison. And Dullison and the rest of this Norse squad are just playing inspired ball right now. Definitely in a position where I think YOLO's going to go for the score, if I have to guess it. You don't want to stall this out, and you can get the Yeti back. And the Orcs have nobody knocked out. So the Norse actually could come back stronger after another kickoff. Look at that. So they got 3 players knocked out. All 3 2 of the 3 could come back. That would be a help. All the Orcs that are gone are not knocked out. So here we go. This is Matter Magnus coming in, unable to do the deed against Ram on the first hit, unable to do it on the second hit. Ram going to fly back. He's going to fall in contact with Ram Man and Galt. And Galt is going to get her done. There you go. Ram getting knocked to the ground. And it's dirty. Ram is injured. Oh, wow. A counterattack by the Norse. These guys got fight in them. They will not be bullied. AV9 my ass is what they say. Another left hook. Armor broken, subdued, knocked to the ground. Now we're getting to the point where it may not even be necessary for YOLO to score that turn, and he's not going to. He's going to stay with his people. Still, though, I guess they've got one reroll left, and Chase does not want to push it. Maybe and be forced to spend it right now on to go for it. So, you know, in more practical terms, basically, YOLO thinks he can make it to the end zone before the Orcs can catch him, but he doesn't want to risk it just in case. Doesn't want to pull up lame and then have his blockers behind him and get wrecked. So he's playing it safe, keeping it close. He's still a distance out. The only trouble is by him staying back by his blockers, this also allows the Orcs to swing around and potentially impede his progress. But with the way that this match is going right now, with the number of people on the field and the position of the Orcs and where they're all at, I don't think they have the personnel to do that. And anybody they throw in the way over the top of the Norse here could potentially just get skewered, run over. So see how this works out. The only problem is you don't want to allow these Orcs to get up on you and get their guard skills in effect, provide each other with assists, because it could get ugly really, really fast. We'll see how it works out, though. And this troll right here, Mr. Biggs, has been he's one of the smarter trolls that I've watched. Norse Cage is strong on the sidelines right now. Fum and Far Cry looking over to their coach, Colorado, thinking, what do we do? Are we guarding the top here? Are we letting them have the score? What are we doing, coach? And the coach says, get up on him. Get in their face. He's not playing around. They want to risk it all. And they say, you want to mark people up? We'll mark up. Let's go. Let's go toe-to-toe. And no free hits here. And there's the blitz. Ineffective. Not completely ineffective, but ineffective enough. Far Cry's unable to knock Gredison down to the ground. And he's going to swing around and provide some extra help. So I think what Colorado's been trying to accomplish here is basically set it up to like YOLO, like, hey, you'll get one block on your way through, push somebody to the side and go score. But, oh, he's going to force him into a one-die block frenzy on the troll. That is, whew. So Chase not taking the bait. This is ballsy. And is this troll about to get surfed? That is, wow, that worked out for him. That is not the safest of strategies, but the Norse are like, you know what, we got nothing to lose. Let's feed you to the fans. The Norse fans attack Mr. Big savagely, but this time, like I said, the Orc fans are tired of watching this kind of stuff, so they go in and help out and fend him off and keep him from major injury. Meanwhile, YOLO says, I'm doing this myself, punching my own hole through, comes down, knocks down Far Cry Jr. He's got the opening, he's got the touchdown in sight. It's a little bit, he'd have to really use his adrenaline, and he does. He runs faster than he even normally runs. We've got a touchdown. Han YOLO, ladies and gentlemen, for the score. We have a tie match, and the Orcs are not winning the attrition battle anymore. I do not believe. Let's see. This is crazy. YOLO with 2 touchdowns in the first 3 games. He adds 1 here, putting him tied with Edward Kennedy, the black from the Musalon Morning Stars, in the play pool for second in the play pool. Oh, both the Norse get up. That Yeti has decided he is taking the rest of the game off. And, oh, just, man, I do not want to be that Yeti in practice during the next week. Coach Chase is furious with him. The top touchdown scorer in the play pool right now is Gishnagors from Plague Inc., who my Hopeless Necromantics play later tonight. He's got 5 touchdowns, and we hope to keep him at that. Maybe by canceling him out for the rest of the season. Who knows? Yeah, right? Beers agrees. Ballsy play. 3-1 dies for the Surf. That was really, really risky. Especially because if you think, that's a 67%, 67% success, right? But you're not even leading with that. Like, you could have possibly, at worst, it craps out, and that Yeti gets knocked down. At best, he burns his reroll for, what he could have just done with the 1 die with Han YOLO. Georgia Goons, again, because their coach is great, will continue to make less mistakes. Let's go back to the camera here, on the home camera. The Georgia Goons in front of their home fans at their home field with this nice blue dome keeping weather from being a factor, and they do not look happy with a 1-1 draw. They will not be cool with that, and they're going to push forward. The Norse got some numbers back, though. They're just sitting back in this kind of like semicircle defense back here. 2, 4, 6, 7. They've got 10 players on the field. 2, 4, 6, 8 versus 8 on the Orcs. This is not what you would think would be the situation here in turn 12. Orcs against Norse. And, oh, the Orcs look to even the numbers up. And Cormac Remer is knocked out of the game and probably the match, let's be honest. We probably won't see him again. He's going the way of the Yeti. And that was Rekka Bone Grinder coming in. These Black Orcs are pissed because earlier in the match, one of their own, Hammer Toe, was killed. R.I.P. Respect to Hammer Toe. He put his time in, but all good Blood Bowl players' careers eventually end, and some of them, unfortunately, on their shield. Orcs are going to tighten their forces at this point. And Far Cry is going to run up with his armor 8 and expose himself. Far Cry has a fractured skull from an earlier match that makes him more susceptible to getting his head cracked open again. And Matter Magnus Isaac is going to try to exploit that, and unable to do so, Far Cry stays up. And he's looking at Matter Magnus like, oh, you done did it now. You're going to regret that. You are going to regret that. Matter Magnus is mad though, and he is unintimidated, does not care. The rest of the Orcs the rest of the Norse now building this elf defense. The elf columns trying to slow these Orcs up enough so that they can't plunge into the end zone. The Orcs are finding that because they're outnumbered, they are forced to use their guard skills and try to stay together Spartan style, create this kind of shield formation. But the perfect way to counter that is say, all right, well, you guys want to stay together like that, we'll just create these columns and keep you boxed in. It's great comments from our members in the audience here, the stands. Sturmjaw. Shout out you guys. Gurlia asks, how did the dead Orcs happen? He needs some tips. Yeah, right? Never seems to happen for me either. But it was just these. I think what happened was the Norse were just getting their asses beat, and they finally just enough was enough. I don't know what Chase said to him at halftime, but whatever it was, man, I want the crib notes for that speech. It was probably effective. They would take our lives, but never our freedom. Oh, look at that. Subdue comes in, but even with his pro skills, again, Subdue has been having suboptimal results so far this match. Hasn't been doing the damage that Coach Colorado would have wanted them to do. And unsuccessful at removing any Norse so far this turn. And this creates a greater issue that, again, Colorado's being forced to play this conservatively. They're not going to take the bait and use 3 guys to get a 2-die block on Matter Magnus. Instead, they're just going to dodge away from him. Probably wise, except that it kind of opens him to hit from the back, and he's kind of a fast Ulfer Werner. He is a fast Ulfer Werner. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, so... yeah, he could cause problems. That might be a bad move. Because this right here is an issue. Him sweeping around in the back, Matter Magnus, and potentially getting a block that knocks out or removes FUM or stuns him and then puts him in contact with Gorkas, after which you see the swarm of Norse coming through. So I think if it was me, that's what I would have blitzed with Matter Magnus, marked everybody up over here, had him in contact with the ball carrier, and then let Colorado try to fight his way out of it. At worst, I'm thinking you've still slowed him down if you've marked everybody up. Yeah. Sturmjaw, the vampire coach, says, I don't understand why he's not just using Hypno Gaze. I mean, everybody knows that's the best way to stop this. You break a cage of Hypno Gaze. Silly Norse. I mean, if you're going to wear a mankini, you might as well man charm him. Am I right? And a 2-die block. Ulfrig, fearless, takes a shot at the Troll. The Troll kind of laughs it off, but he does get pushed back. That's big. Not big, but big that he stays up. And again, the little mark in here is going to keep these Orcs in check and unable to move. That's really, at this point, Chase isn't trying to win the attrition battle or get more hits. Chase is just trying to keep them planted so they can't fight their way out there and punch a hole. The problem is that, exactly. 2 Norse left in contact, 1 right here, and then only 1 backup on the middle of that cage, allowed them to get the block with the strength that they have, and now open this up on Galt with a blitz, except that they can't knock him to the ground. And I think, yep, you got to go with the extra training that week. And, oh, Galt is finally knocked out. That's a big blow. That is a big loss on the field right now for the Norse. That is going to allow Subdue to sweep around and also Gorkas to get back there. I mean, that might actually be that opening that punch may have been playing it this way for Chase may have been a mistake. This could get sealed. Yeah. The Orcs, not completely sealed. There's some chances Chase is going to have to take, but Colorado's going to have to take. But at this point in the match, with 3 turns left, you can't just sit back here, or you're not going to score. There you go. So he's just marking everybody up and hoping that these Norse are not agile enough to make these dodges. We know he is, though. We know YOLO is. This is the best he can do. Huh. That's actually... It does not allow YOLO to dodge his way. At least not make an easy dodge and wrap around and get a hit on the ball carrier. Oh, a big dodge from Far Cry, putting on his dancing shoes. I mean, that's characteristic of him. He is an agile orc. And the troll, Mr. Big's going to take a shot on Scalabera. That actually frees him up. So that did not respond favorably, but now Far Cry can get this hit in on Ulfervig, who took a shot at the troll earlier and now pays for it. Ulfervig KO'd. The orcs have evened up the numbers, it looks like, or at least they're more even. It's 2, 4, 6, 8. Who do we appreciate? 2, 4, 6, 7 Norse to 8 orcs. The tables have turned. One die block from Chase, very smart, knocks Fum to the ground, and now, he didn't follow through. Oh, I'm surprised. Because that's a dodge and a blitz, and there you go. But nope. Why? You don't need the assist, because you've got Ram Man, a super strong, super agile berserker who's going to come in, and oh, he knocks the ball loose. But Funbus, again, formerly of the Green Tide Titans, I believe. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Funbus reaches out and catches that ball like a big fullback. Preserves the drive, for the moment anyway. Ram Man and Chase both looking visibly frustrated at this, but undeterred, and now Snorre Grarrison is going to jump in there and make contact with the big orc. The Norse not done. Far Cry Jr.'s dead. That is the second time they've killed an orc. Wow! Armor 9 means nothing! Far Cry joining Hammertoe. That's Far Cry Jr. joining Hammertoe on the sidelines. That is 4 injured orcs. Colorado can't be happy with this. This is... However this turns out, I mean, he's fought valiantly. But, I mean, he went from having this match completely in hand in the first half, and as Blood Bull and Nuffle will do, Nuffle comes in and adjusts your expectations. So the hit happened. That was a kill, man. But from the ball carrier, though, and this is a problem because now he hasn't given it to a ball carrier. And... something's going to have to happen. I mean, is Colorado just saying, you know what, we've sustained some death, and screw you guys, we're going to be happy taking the draw and just punch our way back in and get some revenge. Is that what's about to happen? I don't know. We have people in scoring range. Are these guys... Oh, the failed dodge! That's what rerolls are for, though. Of course you're going to reroll that. Oh, but the swift kick! That orc takes a spill to the ground. It's not looking very good for the Orcs' chances of scoring, and the chances of the Norse scoring at this point are 0. So Chase is just going to seal the draw here by going after Subdue. Another armor break. Subdue seeing stars. Matter Magnus comes in to provide the assist on Fum, and Fum is going to get knocked to the ground by Ram Man as well. That's that mighty blow, though the AV9 holds up this time. You're going to see Skelegrimmer come in and just provide a standover Far Cry. Even though Far Cry cannot get to the end zone, but I guess he's there just to protect against the possible chain push on Matter Magnus to put him in range. And YOLO is directed by Chase to go away from these orcs because he's not risking the orcs taking revenge on him, taking their frustrations out on him. So Matter Magnus is in a position where he can get hit. It's not going to be easy. It's going to take some fancy footwork by the orcs, but Colorado's not playing those games.
Saved us us all a lot of time.
It's over. What a hell of a match. Thank you all for tuning in. A 1-1 final, but both of these sides, I mean, if you like violence and hard hitting and like aggressive play styles, both of these teams came in taking swings at each other. Georgia Goons had the ball most of the time, but man, those Norse rallied, came back, ended up having more blocks, thanks to that frenzy, probably largely in part. Goons knocking out 7 of those Norse, but the Norse creating those permanent injuries or deaths on 2 of those orcs, and the other 2, I believe, were just knocked out or hurt for the game. But damn, that's going to trim that TV a little bit for the Goons. I don't know who they play next week, but whoever they play next week needs to send Chase not a beer because he's still in high school, I think, but maybe a root beer or a cream soda. I don't know what he likes to drink. But thank you all for joining in, for tuning in. This has been my pleasure to call this one. This is a great mid-afternoon bash fest over here. Let's look at the SPP. Far Cry Jr. I think is dead, so yeah, they gave him the MVP as a dead guy. Matter Magnus picks up some extra SPP. Scalabera, Galt. To me, Galt should have got that MVP the way he played, but Matter Magnus killed that Black Orc, I think. So Crom Dragon Gaze just absent for most of the match. That Yeti just laying on the side. So yeah, thank you, Beers. Thank you all for tuning in. I wouldn't say the Goons have had a rough season. It's just one rough game. You know, I mean, they're just, I don't really have a lot of sympathy for orc coaches when they cry about getting hurt. Oh, I'm at work. I got AV9, so my guys aren't supposed to get hurt. Oh, well. Not a lot of sympathy for you. So, anyway, but great match. Really well played by both coaches. This was a pleasure to watch, pleasure to call. And again, I hope it was good for you guys as well. All right. This is me tuning out, Serious Jest, and thanks for tuning in. If you are watching this and you like hearing me talk shit, I got a podcast. It's live from the Man Cave. You can find it basically on iTunes or any like major podcast app or at www.livemancave.com. Thanks for tuning in, y'all. Out.